So Donald Trump claims that he has no idea what a burner phone is, at least, of course, to the best of his knowledge. But there are several folks that are calling BS on Donald Trump's claim, which of course was made to try to excuse the more than 7 hours of White House logs that are currently missing. That in and of itself obviously is the massive scandal. And Trump came out yesterday and attempted to downplay his role in the missing call logs by saying, quote, "I have no idea what a burner phone is, to the best of my knowledge. I have never even heard the term." Now, there's a piece of that statement, by the way, before I get into the rest of this that I want to highlight. To the best of my knowledge. That's not something Donald Trump typically says, right? That is very carefully crafted language that to me indicates Donald Trump was coached on how to respond to this scandal. That's something you hear in legal proceedings, to the best of my knowledge, which basically gives you a little bit of leeway to lie. Like, to the best of my knowledge, I've never been to this place. It's something that's very common with legal terminology as a way to kind of cloud the issue, and that's exactly what Donald Trump was doing here. And of course, that's why people like John Bolton, his former national security advisor, have come out and said that's simply not true. Bolton told Washington Post reporter Robert Costa that he has in fact heard Donald Trump not only talking about burner phones, but explaining why people use them. Bolton says that Donald Trump knew exactly that people used burner phones to avoid having their communications scrutinized. Those were the words that Bolton used, and Bolton claims those are the words that Donald Trump had used at some point during his administration. Now, why the subject of burner phones even came up, in the White House to begin with, why would Donald Trump even go on that, topic, is something that we still don't have any clear answers to. John Bolton was not exactly clear when he explained why Trump was explaining burner phones, so I think that's something that deserves a little bit more digging, right? Why was that conversation even happening? Because Bolton was long gone before any of the January 6th, any of the election overturning, efforts even happened, because he was gone before the election. So I think that, again, deserves a little bit more scrutiny as to why that happened. Another person who's calling BS on this, of course, is Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former lawyer/fixer, who says that, yes, not only were there burner phones that were purchased by an aide at a CVS and taken to the White House, but Cohen also says that this individual who purchased the burner phones is cooperating with the January 6th committee. And that this individual, according to Cohen says he has knowledge of it, is going to give the committee all of the information they need about these burner phones that also could help, obviously, explain the 7+ hour gap in those White House logs. We're getting new information. At this point, it really seems like on a daily basis from the January 6th committee about Donald Trump's efforts, about the efforts of other individuals like Ted Cruz. This thing has barely scratched the surface on what took place in those final months at the Trump White House. I can only fathom, what we may know tomorrow, what we may know a week or a month from now. But this committee's work is hugely valuable, and I'm starting to think we don't even know the half of it yet. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.